My name's Alejandro. I'm originally from Detroit by way of Chicago. Living here in Atlanta for now 2.5, almost 3 years. I was in high school. That's when I really started to take interest in it. Had friends who were like 14 and 15 years old getting their first tattoos because their big sister was signing off, stuff like that. You know, your classic tattoo story, or you know, some dude who got theirs in a basement or some crazy shit like that. But yeah, my very first tattoo, I think I was either 18 or 19 years old, and I pretty much my mom's old school, so she didn't believe in it. She wasn't going with the whole tattoo thing. You can't even see it now, man. Like it's under this cover up here, but it's actually Chinese. And it was actually a really good tattoo because it was like from a legitimate place. But some years later, they just started to look kind of like a prison tat because that shit was like legit. It was like a legitimate dude, but he was doing the shit out of his basement. So I was like, I ain't fucking with it no more. Second tattoo, also shitty tattoo, which is now being kind of burnt off. I'm getting it removed. Went to San Francisco, was just stuck on hell-bent on getting a tattoo. Went to this world-renowned dude. At this time, he was old as hell. Got the tattoo. When I got home and let it heal up, it just looked completely like shit. I got Chinese characters on my back, in the middle of my back. Pretty small, about that big. Says love hurts in Chinese. Some fucking young, dumb shit as a kid. Thought I was in love, 18 years old, 20 years old, whatever the fuck it was, and it was like, yeah, whatever, let's get it. Funny story though, me and one of my homies' ex-girlfriends, we got the same tattoo. So she got the love hurts on her back, and I got it too, because she was going through some shit with my homie, and then I was going through some shit with the girl I was dating at the time. So it was like, fuck it, why not? For favorites, I break them down. It's gonna probably one of my top three is gonna be this piece here, which is Pedro Albizu Campos. He's actually a Puerto Rican revolutionary, Puerto Rican freedom fighter. He'll be equivalent to like our Malcolm X from the 1920s, 1930s era. He was all about the independence for Puerto Rico from the U.S. government. My next one, as a whole, would be my leg sleeve, but specifically in this leg sleeve is gonna probably be my Fidel Castro tattoo, just because he has such a bad rap. You know, everybody sees a communist, he's this, he's that, but I think he stood for something, you know what I mean? So the story behind the leg sleeve is an interesting one because I read comic books, and my favorite comic book was Batman. And then the older I got, the more I read, the more interesting the villains started to become to me. I got this Joker tattoo just because it kind of represents, like I said, nobody really knows his background story. Dude just appeared out of nowhere. It's been iconic. He doesn't have any superpowers. Dude is just crazy, and he's an iconic character. I think that's a really dope place to come from. You know what I mean? Because a lot of us know where we come from, but we still can't always identify from it. So I got the piece. So one day I'm chilling with my homie on his back porch. He was like, you know, it'd be dope. He was like, it'd be dope if you did like a whole villain sleeve. So from there, I kind of just started to think about like, what villains would I put? So the concept is misunderstood villains. So all the villains in the public eye, whether they be an actual comic book character or somebody that we know in our everyday life through the media here in the States, majority of the characters on my leg, yeah, pretty much all of them, were about protecting themselves or their family or something that they believed in, and they were considered a villain because it didn't go or conform to what the mainstream society thought they should be doing. You know, Fidel Castro overthrew the government, you know, the Cuban government at the time because of the U.S. influence it was gonna have. Everybody's on an equal playing field, whether it's somebody who changes tires for a living or a doctor. Like, everybody's eating the same, everybody's living the same, you know what I mean? Darth Vader, I mean, we've seen the movie, if you've read the comics, you know, he wanted to save his wife. You know what I mean? And in turn, he ended up becoming a villain. The original intention was for him to protect his family, to protect what he believed in. He wanted to be able to have the ability to bring people back from the dead that he loved. You know what I mean? Like, that's some noble shit. But in turn, he lost himself and became a villain. I mean, Magneto is another one, you know what I'm saying? Magneto has his own story. He got his own baggage. You know what I'm saying? He lost his family to the Nazis, you know what I mean? Dude. So Magneto and Professor X to me it's the equivalent in real life Malcolm X and MLK. You know what I mean? Magneto is by any means necessary. MLK takes the more like calm approach, the more passive approach. Like, yo, let them do what they do. You know, don't let them knock you off your mark. And Malcolm X was like, yo, that Bizarro is one of Superman's arch enemies. Bizarro, everything in Bizarro world is the complete opposite of what's in the regular world, what we know. So bad is good, good is bad. You know what I mean? Like, whatever you know as being good is bad to him, and whatever you know is bad is good to him. So it's the complete opposite. So in his mind, he's defending what he believes in, but what he believes is good. But to us, because we only know life to be one way, it's bad to us. But that's some noble shit. Like, he's still defending what he believes in. He's that world Superman. I think regardless of whether it's my tattoos or their tattoos or any tattoos, my standpoint from a tattoo is every tattoo should have a story. I mean, every tattoo should have a meaning. Don't just get random shit tattooed on you because it looks fucking cool, because you're gonna look like an asshole in the future when your grandkids or your husband or your wife ask you, you know, what's up with this tattoo, and you're not gonna have nothing. You'll be able to tell them a story of when you got it, but what does it symbolize? You're doing something to your body, and people are gonna always judge you for it, for having these marks on you. So if you're gonna be judged, you might as well be judged for something that means something to you. It's funny because people don't ever really ask me what my tattoos mean. People see them and I'll walk by somebody so quick and they're like, "Oh, I like your tattoos." Like, did you even fucking look at them? Like, to me, it's just like, I look at people's tattoos, I see the details, and I've seen some really dope shit out there. And I do have an appreciation for them. But I think tattoos should have a story. They should always have a story, you know what I mean? They should mean something to you.